closer to being a united supercar nation once more. And we go racing in WA, and a ripping start from both the boys on the front row of the grid. And Di Pasquale gets the job done on the inside. A little bit of contact. And in fact, Di Pasquale skips away because Waters checked up in that moment of contact. And how's this? Van Gisbergen gets into the back of him.
That was very close. That was almost an incident over the little rise there to put him off the road. Chris Pither in the Coke Commodore has spun on the exit of turn one. Absolutely beautiful start between the two Mustangs. They walked away so well, but it was clumsy between Waters and Anton Di Pasquale, which actually put Van Gisbergen in an aggressive spot over the top of the rise before turn four.
Cool super slow-mo replay, and it just gives you an understanding of the brake energy on Anton Di Pasquale's car on the run into the final corner, and that's little bits of brake material. And this is the underbody of the cars. There's a striker plate at the back of the cars, and they are smashing into the top of the curb there. And we saw replays earlier in the day of the front right tyre bunny hopping off the road down there on the exit of turn 7. Brutal energy going through these cars. And if you go far enough, you actually meet up with your mates on the back straight. That tends to end poorly.
Yeah, Brock's starting to hold me up now.
Voice of James Courtney talking about Brock Feeney. He reckons he's holding him up. Now, the reason that's critical is they may choose to peel him off and come in and grab tyres and try and take...
That's 12 complete now, 12 complete.
Here we go. Anton in.
Okay, mate, got you there. You're coming down. You're going to turn it after the
What was the
big
stop
guys to the
time
setup here, mate. Short stop,
for
2 tyres.
Waters? 4.5?
Yeah, but staggeringly, it was 3.2 for Heimgartner. That is a fast stop.
Okay,
Wow.
turning it up, these guys.
Launches in. Did he pull up on the marks? Didn't look too bad. It's a slippery pit lane.
It was a great stop. It was a really... It didn't drop immediately. The car was actually parked up.
And he arrives with car number 34, Jack LeBrock, who was the first of the stoppers, and he's got his teammate queued up just in behind him in Scott Pye, who's out very wide. Car 14, bad sportsmanship flag, exceeding track limits. That's on the exit of the final corner. There's a bit of a chase around the road going on here into turn 6, so LeBrock just covers down the inside from Pye. Macaulay Jones in behind them. So Waters is going quickly on those fresh tyres, and so's Reynolds out there at the moment, Mark.
So Waters' fastest car, done the fastest lap of the race now with a 54.97. Di Pasquale with a 55.17 did his personal best, so 0.2 of a second slower. That's pretty wild, isn't it?
And Macaulay Jones made a spot in that manoeuvre.
3.6.
Yeah.
So it was only 0.2 of a second slower. This is an ugly moment. He had a big slide here, Cam Waters. He had a half tank slap. You can see the correction.
Yeah.
And it followed the front wheels when it landed. Watch the steering here. Oh, and he couldn't find the centre there for a second, and he finally got it turned in.
Whoa. Whoa. And Andre's on the marbles. Will's got fresh tyres, but he's getting assaulted by the pack here. Because once you get boxed out of position on a cold tyre and you end up on the marbles, there's no coming back in a hurry. Oh, here he goes. He's up the inside with so much more traction. He's done this easily. He's driven it down the inside, picked up the throttle earlier, and he's totally in position here to be able to take that second position off Cam Waters, who's looking for the crisscross. But Shane makes sure that he does not run wide, and he'll chase him across to the right-hand side of the road to cover. Waters is thinking about whether or not he can try and duck back underneath, but there won't be too much he can do. He's giving him a little love bite in the middle of turn 1.
He just did that to upset him. There was no gain in that at all for Cam Waters. In fact, it probably slowed him up. It certainly is. But we spoke earlier about almost no degradation, but the reason there's no degradation in the first phase of the race is they actually drive the car back from the limit a little bit and don't hurt the tyre. So for that 30-lap run that we saw was extraordinary level of consistency, was basically because it just didn't hurt the tyre.
And you've got Anton trying to also pick up the throttle and cover down the inside. He'll try to make him go the long way. 4 to go is the critical word there from Ludo, and the reason he says that is he wants to make sure that he understands that you can protect, be aggressive, cover, make him work for it. So he's looking to crisscross. Here he goes again, dives down the inside at 1. Now Anton will see glimpses and he shoves it up the inside. He's got him. And done. Oh, maybe not quite.
That was wild.
That was wild. Because it's a very narrow racing line on the exit of 1 through 2, 3.
And Shane didn't really do the crisscross with the proper effect at the last corner. He hit the inside curb way too hard. So he thought that he was going to be able to get down there, and he couldn't do it. As it turned out, it was a little mistake by Anton. He just ran wide in the middle of turn 1. Now, whether he got a little bump or not, I'm not sure.
And this has been an outstanding drive today by Shane Van Gisbergen into the final corner. We beg the question, could he shake off the P2 and actually win at this location? And the answer is yes, Shane Van Gisbergen. Confirmation of our results coming, and Shane Van Gisbergen has got the job done. A fantastic performance, 2.3 seconds to get home, and he's on top of Anton De Pasquale, Cam Waters, David Reynolds, Brock Feeney, Will Davison, James Courtney, Brodie Kosticki, Todd Hazelwood, and Andre Heimgartner. And the real standout performance for me there is Lee Holdsworth, having come from the back of the field to get home into 11th position.